Hello and welcome to Outsiders Weather and the Skeptics Ice Age Watch, where Victorians woke up to the coldest start to May in more than 5 decades as the state braces for heavy rainfall and snow. Friday's maximum of just 12 degrees for the state means it will be the coldest May in more than 50 years, with temperatures hitting just 12.2 degrees back in 1962. Shivering luvvies huddled together under the doonas, comforting themselves with reruns of ABC global warming predictions. The aptly named Coldstream was the coldest place in the Melbourne area last week, with the temperature dropping to a chilly 0.5 degrees. Electroverse are predicting that Australia is in for a real cold shock, with latest GFS runs revealing a truly ravaging picture as winter 2020 down under begins in earnest. Temperatures could sink to 16 degrees Celsius below seasonal norms in some parts, they claim. Or, as former WIN reporter Ashley Aldridge tweeted, "It's snowing in New South Wales." Baffled Guardian editors, journalists and readers alike struggled to comprehend the incomprehensible news that despite catastrophic global heating, they were experiencing the coldest beginning to May in decades. But wait, there's more. Remember how just before Christmas, the Bureau of Meteorology predicted there would be no rain before April or May? They were wrong. Not only a little bit wrong, not only slightly off, but 100% wrong. It turns out we've had more rain in the last 4 months of this year than the entire of last year, and 2020 is one of the wettest starts to the year on record. What a joke. And they tell us they can predict the weather for the end of the century. And speaking of Victoria's falling temperatures and record rainfall, what about the spectacular Mosi Ua Tunya on the Zambia-Zimbabwe border, also known as Victoria Falls?
Everywhere I go, no matter what I do, home is where my heart is, and I'm falling for you, Victoria.
Yeah, my name is Metaphysics. I'm from Zimbabwe, in case you don't know where that's at. Yo, Victoria Falls, baby. Zimbabwe, that's where I'm from, in the land of the free.
Sorry. Remember the BBC's hysterical report last November about the vanishing waters of Victoria Falls, all because of climate change?
The falls are more than 1 kilometre wide. When the Zambezi is full, the entire stretch is a wall of cascading water. But look at it now. For the last year, Southern Africa's been in the grip of a severe drought. The falls shouldn't be full right now, but nor should they look like this. Zambia's president recently tweeted a shot of this expansive rock, calling it a stark reminder of what climate change is doing.
Oh, yes. In the BBC report, Alicia Moyo, the principal climate change researcher, oh, there's a nice job, at Zimbabwe's Ministry of Environment, whoa, climate and tourism, I wonder who pays for that, told the BBC that the low falls are becoming more frequent. Who knows, he said, maybe one year there will be no falls completely, no water. Or maybe not. On March 27th, 2020, the water at Victoria Falls was recorded to be flowing 3,890 cubic metres per second, meaning the flow was 54% above the long-term average and flourishing. Trevor Lane, a conservationist who lives in Victoria Falls, says this year's rainy season will be the 3rd heaviest in recorded history, dating back to the 60s. This year, we're going to have probably the highest flood recorded from 1969 and the 3rd biggest ever recorded, Lane said. This year is going to be massive. There's going to be so much water flowing over the falls. Maybe Zimbabwe's principal climate change researcher might have been more accurate had he listened to Paul McCartney, who did once warn us when it comes to waterfalls, sometimes you make mistakes.
Don't go, Joe.
which is interesting because at the same time, Mr. McCartney was warning us about misinterpreting the data on waterfalls, he also warned us about this.
Don't go chasing polar bears in the great unknown.
Good advice, Macca. Indeed, the polar bear has long been the favourite symbol of global warming activists such as Greenpeace and Al Gore, who predicted in 2007 that polar bear populations in the Arctic would soon collapse. In fact, according to climatism.com, there were around 5,000 polar bears in the 60s, but today there are at least 26,000, possibly as many as 58,000, and they're thriving to such an extent that the Inuits have to start culling the population, or might have to. Meanwhile, just when you think the climate change cult has got as nutty as it possibly can, along comes the farting oyster. Yes, a study published in the Scientific Reports journal shows that clams, mussels and oysters produce 1/10 of methane and nitrous oxide gases as a result of digestion and have a serious knock-on effect on climate change. Indeed, climate change. Experts have warned that underwater shellfish farts produce 10% of the global warming gases released by the Baltic Sea. Yes, folks, beware the farting oyster.